2024 was a massive year for mysterious songs being found and identified. The names and musicians behind some of the biggest and most sought after songs were finally discovered, and this is my take on some of 2024's highlights. In July 2007, a sample of the song that would become known as Dance for Hours a Day was posted to Usenet and What's That Song by Presveva. And at first it didn't really catch on, but then it was uploaded to YouTube in September 2022 and made its way to r/Lostwave in October 2023, and things started to pick up for the song. Presveva themselves even came back in the What's That Song comments and suggested that they probably downloaded the song from a torrent site of some kind. A Discord user suggested that the song might have been by the band Royal Treatment Plant, prompting another user, Sveta, to go through the band's full Discogs page until they came across an album with a 2005 song titled Funky. And then on January 9th, 2024, the full version of Funky was found on the website of the Royal Treatment Plant's drummer Katie Stevens, confirming that Dance for Hours a Day and Funky were one and the same. In April 2017, There's a Man was first posted to SoundCloud by user Arthur Bogashev. Arthur also wrote about it on the Music Banter forum, but it didn't really gain that much interest at the time he wrote. At least it didn't get any attention until December 2022 anyway, when Lost Music Cold Cases uploaded it to their channel, and then it made its way to r/Lostwave a couple of months later in February 2023. In the end, There's a Man was identified on February 19th, 2024 by Redditor Trippy Drew, who searched the phrase "The Man on the Hill" before 2013 in YouTube and came back with a live performance of the song, titled Man on a Hill by Scottish band The Defended from 2008, and the full version of the song was also found later on. Due to the new popularity of their song, The Defended actually reformed and have not only released more of their old music, but made some new tunes as well, and they continue to be appreciated by the Lostwave community and their fans today. This has got to be one of the most remarkable Lostwave identifications of all time. This one first came to people's attention in February 2021 when Canadian Redditor eRobotic posted about it to r/Tip of My Tongue. A home video of them as a baby had been taped over with this 2 to 3 second clip of a guy jamming on a guitar and a singer singing something like "The World Was So Easy," which gave the song its placeholder name. People were able to narrow down the time period of the song when another Redditor saw the clip was watermarked with a New Country Network watermark, which ran from January 1995 to September 1996, and they also found out that the guitar used in the clip was a Parco Fly, which came out in 1993, and a later upload of eRobotic's full home video also included a curling tournament from 1996. With the overwhelming evidence that this song was from Canada, Redditor J. Lily Starchild got in touch with Chris Murphy from the Canadian band Sloan, who recognised the man with the guitar in the clip as Aciphilius and suggested that the band playing was Big Picture. This was thankfully confirmed when a Redditor Leroy Severe discovered a Big Picture CD in their collection, which had the full song. The World Was So Easy was actually just passing by. Soon after this identification, the man jamming on the guitar, Aciphilius, came forward with the full music video for Just Passing By and posted it on his channel, Shaking the Tree. He also reunited with Big Picture singer Benny Fong and recorded a new acoustic version of Just Passing By and posted it to their channels. You should really check it out, it puts a nice bow on the whole story. In January 2014, What's That Song user Shirka posted a song that was given the placeholder name Something That's Long Gone, and Shirka thought it might have been made in around 1993. It was kind of forgotten about for quite a while, until August 2024 when a YouTuber named McKitty uploaded it to their channel. As the months went by and February 2024 rolled around, Discord user Mark Trail bought a bunch of CD singles from a Discogs user, and amongst them was one called Appendix by a British band named Iris. On that CD was a 1993 song called Wendy, which was a match for Something That's Long Gone. After the song was identified, Iris remastered their EP and created a promo video for Wendy, and they've also released a bunch of their other old music digitally. It's a pretty good result. Back in August 2004, someone under the name of Oscar uploaded a 30-second portion of a song to an Italo disco website and hoped to find its origin. Oscar thought they'd recorded it from Estonian radio sometime in the 90s, but they weren't really sure. Try to Smile Again was then uploaded to Spirit of Radio by user Marek in March 2009. There weren't any real leads to identify Try to Smile Again for quite a long time until it got uploaded to YouTube in 2023 and started spreading around the Lostwave community, and the search kicked up again in earnest. And through all this time, Oscar was unaware that the search for Try to Smile Again had expanded beyond his website postings. And after being contacted by some of the other searchers, he uploaded a longer snippet of the song to YouTube. And when that happened, things started to move quite quickly. Redditor Regin Riser had been researching some Estonian radio stations, since that's where Oscar said he might have taped it from, and they got in touch with YouTuber Martin Janis, who thought it was likely a song by an Estonian musician named Sven Lomas, and the band he had with his brother called Beatboy. Regin Riser then contacted Sven on Instagram, and he confirmed it. Try to Smile Again was his and his brother's song, and was actually called Bravely. The full version of Bravely, or Try to Smile Again, was then found on Soulseek by Discord user Mystic65, closing the case once and for all. Downfall first made its way to What's That Song in October 2019, when user Andy Herman uploaded a little bit of a snippet. They said they thought they downloaded the song sometime in 2008, and it had the file name downfall.mp3. By December 2022, Andy Herman gave the full version of the song to Mike Wurst, who then uploaded it to their YouTube channel. Through a bit more search, a band called Downfall was found, and they had a song called Save Me Now. But it turned out not to be them. Finally, on February 29, 2024, Discord users Aaron and Sveta managed to identify Downfall. It turns out that it's the 1994 song Downfall of a well-known actress by the band Fair Verona. Yet another What's That Song origin, and there's going to be a few more before the end of this video, but this time this one comes from September 2014. It's a pop song that user Chip Moldoff claims they taped off the radio sometime around 1986. Nothing happened with YYY for almost 10 years, until March 2024, when user Morbach found and posted the full song in the comments of the YYY sample upload. And once that happened, things started to escalate again. Fatbird24 found the song's name on Discogs. It's from 1986 and it's called Beat That Clock by the band Grace. They even found a YouTube upload from a mid-80s Dutch radio station which contained the song and the announcer saying its name, making it undeniably identified and solved.
Johnny in the middle of the park, waiting for tomorrow.
Posted to What's That Song in December 2020 by Mr. Zach, Johnny, or The Grass is Green, comes from the credits of a 1983 Italian sports program. It made the rounds on r/Lostwave and r/Tip of My Tongue, but none of the people there had much luck identifying it. In February 2024, Redditor MJL Gats4 posted an audio sample that compared Johnny to another song which they thought was by the same artist.
Since you came along, my life is not the same. Johnny in the middle of the park, waiting for tomorrow.
The following month, Johnny was confirmed to be by Italian singer Piero Cotto, after Redditor Aggravating Swing 530 got in touch with Piero's son. He was told that Piero had sung the song and there were backing vocals by his wife, and later Piero himself confirmed that the song's full name was Johnny in the Middle of the Park and was first recorded in 1983. And in April 2024, an updated copyright listing for the song was discovered by Discord user Nell, which listed Piero as the singer once again, marking this solved. There's yet to be a full version of the song that's clean, but at least we know who's responsible for it. Zoltan first emerged in May 2019 and again comes from What's That Song? Eventually though, it made its way to r/Lostwave in August 2023 and things again took off. When you listen to Zoltan, it's very clearly inspired by the song Moscow by Dashingis Khan, and the band were even contacted in January 2024. They agreed it sounded like them, but said they had nothing to do with it. In March 2024, the full version of the song was found in a Daily Motion video by Reddit user PrudentFeature2412, and later a music video was also found via Svevs55. And because of these finds, it was revealed that the song was part of a bank advertising campaign of all things. Things were more or less fully confirmed in April 2024 when Discord user Nell contacted the music video's director, who also said that the song was named after sound engineer / songwriter Zoltan Lantos, completely solving this 2007 song. Everyone knows that is one of the biggest Lostwave phenomenons ever, which I very briefly covered on my channel, and it's probably responsible for the increased interest this year in Lostwave. The snippet of Everyone Knows That was first uploaded to What's That Song in October 2021 by user Carl92, who labelled it as mid-80s bad quality. He suggested it might have been an audio snippet from when he was learning about audio recording, but he was pretty evasive about any further questions surrounding the song's origins, and eventually stopped commenting and hasn't been heard from since. There were many suspects who people thought might have been behind the song, including Ozzy Mello, the idea it came from a Polish McDonald's, as well as Australia's very own Darren Hayes. But in April 2024, Everyone Knows That was finally discovered to be Ulterior motives by Christopher and Philip Booth, after Redditor South Pole Ball found it playing in the 1986 adult film Angels of Passion. Since then, the Booth brothers have recreated Ulterior motives, as well as released 2 albums filled with lost music of theirs from the 1980s, under the name Who's Who. While the instrumentals for the original version of Ulterior motives have been found, the original vocals are unfortunately still missing. As of October 2024 though, the Booth brothers announced that a copyright office had a cassette that could contain a clean version of Ulterior motives, and they're now waiting for it to be delivered to them so they can check it out and see what it actually is. Ulterior motives probably would have been considered the biggest Lostwave find of 2024, if it weren't for one other song identified later in the year. But don't worry, I'll get to that later. This was probably one of the most unexpected and fluke finds of 2024 in the Lostwave community. So, Cancion de Alicia first emerged on Latin American Facebook in March 2019, when user Hitomate Triste posted a snippet of a song to see if anyone could identify it, and it had footage from the film Alice in Wonderland accompanying. Hitomate's account got nuked though, and the original song and video upload with it, but somebody did manage to screen capture it and posted it to the Lost Media Perdidos posting group in July 2021, where the search for La Cancion de Alicia really took off. Later in 2021, the band Gin and Tonic were thought to be behind La Cancion de Alicia, but ultimately it wasn't them. The bass player Richard Vox ended up releasing his own remake of the song, which kind of muddied the waters a bit, as some considered it sold by mistake when it really wasn't. Finally though, in May 2024, La Cancion de Alicia was sold. In an ordinary but pretty unlikely way for Lostwave standards anyway. Reddit user JMike324 was having a conversation about the song and shared it with a friend, and this friend had heard the song before and knew the band. They said it was by a Peruvian group called Bad Influence, and they knew one of the band members. A live performance of La Cancion de Alicia was also found, confirming that the real title of the song was Dreams Forever. Since May 2024, the full demo version of Dreams Forever was leaked, and Bad Influence have also reformed and made their own definitive version of the song, which you can listen to and watch the accompanying video on Bad Influence's official YouTube channel. Back to Bed dates back all the way to 2011, when Dakfa posted it to What's That Song. They said it was rock English, and they thought they heard it on a Y-Rock radio station in Philadelphia. As with a lot of these songs, it didn't really get much attention until 2023, when r/Lostwave got wind of it. Some Redditors were able to find playlists for Y-Rock radio during the period when Dakfa thought they recorded the song, and that's how it was ultimately found in the end by Redditor Belfour20 in May 2024. Belfour also found a music video for the song on Vimeo and a SoundCloud listing, confirming that Back to Bed was actually the 2011 song Brighter Days by Norwegian band Jon Snow. The first sample of this indie rock number was posted in November 2013 by user Morbach, but then it was allegedly removed for some reason. They then provided the full song on What's That Song in October 2014 before making another upload in 2018. Morbach said they taped it off Belarusian radio sometime in 2010, or thereabouts anyway. Naturally, people thought that Waste My Time might have been by a Belarusian band and started to ask around, and the asking got to a point where the song made its way to r/Lostwave in 2023. Eventually, the search for Waste My Time broadened to Russian bands, and that's how it was solved in the end. In May 2024, Redditor T-Zalantro Slumber revealed that the song Waste My Time was actually named Avail by The Burns, a Russian band, after receiving a tip from another Russian band that they'd queried. It turns out that this song had a music video and had been up on YouTube since 2009. The search for Stop Making Me Cry was a pretty short one, but there's still a bit of mystery around it. A sample of this song was first posted to What's That Song in December 2023 by user Pylo, and became associated with an image of black dancing figures against a pink background. There were a couple of different artists speculated to be behind the song due to some of the song titles people searched, and even Australia's very own Madison Avenue was suspected at one point due to a similar kind of sound and one of their previously unknown and not widely published songs called Made Me Cry, but of course it wasn't them. Eventually, Stop Making Me Cry was identified after Piero provided more audio of the song in April and May 2024, which then led to Discord user McKitty finding the song on the Remix search website that revealed that Stop Making Me Cry was in fact Drive Me by the Mexican group K-Girls, released in the year 2000. The mystery doesn't really stop there though. There seems to be multiple versions of Drive Me based on the segments that have been posted, and it's possible that not all of them have actually been found. And as for the band K-Girls themselves, there's nothing out there about them really. We don't have any names of the singers or anyone else involved in the song despite the best efforts of people to find out. Maybe they'll remain a mystery. In July 2023, What's That Song user NY80s Tapes uploaded Uptown People and thought that they'd taped it off New York or New Jersey radio sometime in the early to mid 80s. New York 80s Tapes came back to What's That Song in May 2024 and said that he thought it was likely from 1984, as that's when other songs on the tape he found from Uptown People also came out. In the end, Uptown People was found via a Google search of all things by Redditor Tripork. They typed in a very specific search string into Google, and there it was, Uptown People. The song's actual name is Break Down Those Walls by new wave band Dolce Vita from their 1984 self-titled album. And now I know it's just a game. I don't need the rules to play. This is a story that's heartbreaking but also heartwarming. Just a Game was first uploaded to What's That Song by user Gable72 in December 2018. Gable, who was from Hungary, described it as a rock song in English, and when you listen to the clip, you can hear the tail end of a woman hitting a high note, followed by a gravelly smooth Joe Cocker-like male singer and some backing vocals. If you look through Gable's What's That Song profile, you see he was a very prolific user, and he uploaded over 100 songs to try and identify him, and one by one they were all solved except for Just a Game. Eventually Gable's clip of Just a Game wound up on YouTube, where it was associated with an orange man leaning against some dice, and the search then really started to gain some momentum in the Lostwave community. A subreddit was set up in 2023, and a special channel on the Find My Mind Discord server was also created. Like any unidentified song, the search had many theories. It was by a Norwegian band named Millennia, or from a sports movie, or from a musical. None of these were real leads, and then in May 2024, things took a bit of a turn. It was discovered that Gable72, the original poster of Just a Game, had passed away, and Just a Game was the only song that he could not identify. Finding out about this sort of gave people a renewed energy and urgency to identify Just a Game, and somehow somebody managed to contact Gable's daughter, Dorka. Dorka was happy that her dad's legacy was living on, and that her dad was kind of online famous at this point, and she wanted to help search for the song and identify it as well to kind of honour her dad, I guess. But understandably, she was still processing the grief of losing her father and asked that the rest of her family not be contacted about the song. Dorka said she would try and go through her dad's computer at some point to see what she could find. And then on the 30th of June 2024, Dorka showed up again and posted the full version of Just a Game. She found it amongst her dad's many music files on his computer. And once Dorka's full version of Just a Game was shared online, things began happening very quickly. With the full lyrics now in the Lostwave community's hands, people started to search around for the first line of the song, "Here I Stand All Alone Again" on music copyright databases. And they got a hit, Just a Game by Christoph Bachmeier, a German composer. The next day, Christoph himself was contacted and confirmed that the song was his. And oh boy, does it have a story behind it. Christoph told the community that Just a Game was composed by him in 1988, and it was performed at a charity concert to benefit children in Africa. 500 vinyls of the song were made and put up for sale at the concert, but not all of them sold. Christoph sung the first verse, the second was by Regina Simon, Carly Mayer had additional vocals, Gerhard Angel Schläfer was on guitar, and Wolfgang Lohlmeier was on the drums. And the man singing the chorus, the man with the voice, was Mario Lerner, a close friend of Christoph's. Sadly though, Mario passed away in 2010. But believe it or not, there's a bit more to this one. Christoph found the original master tape of Just a Game and digitized it, so you can listen to it today in crystal clear quality on basically any platform you can think of. And Christoph also gave away the remaining Just a Game vinyls to those who requested them. All they had to do was make a donation to the original Just a Game charity. And as if that wasn't enough, Christoph managed to find footage of Mario in his studio singing Just a Game. As for Gabor's daughter Dorka, she's continued to upload her father's music collection for those interested and is very happy that her father is being remembered like this and that Just a Game has been finally found. Now we come to what may be the formerly most mysterious song in Italy. Well, kind of anyway. Sono un Vigliacco first emerged on YouTube in September 2015, where it was uploaded by user No War. There wasn't a huge search for it at the time, but things gathered enough momentum for a small subreddit to be made for the song in June 2024, and having this subreddit paid off, as July 2024 rolled around and the song was identified. Redditor Lil Boy Cletus managed to find it after looking at the discography of another Lostwave related band, If. A guest on an If album had their Discogs page examined, and it was discovered that they'd worked on Sono un Vigliacco as well. The song's real name is Parco degli Arancini, a 1991 song by Il Gran Teatro Amaro, a French band as it turns out. This one was uploaded to What's That Song by user Lorraine all the way back on November the 1st, 2006. Now that date's kind of important because it led to a lot of speculation from people. They thought it may have come from a horror themed movie or TV show that Lorraine watched on Halloween and wanted to find the next day, due to the lyrics also talking about ghosts and tension and being scared. And when I first heard Tensions Rising in the Air, I was one of those people that thought it might have come from some kind of horror movie. It seemed to me like it was Scooby-Doo meets Top Gun, and at least part of this turned out to have some relevance, but more on that later. A lot of searchers did speculate that Tension Rising in the Air was taken from a movie, whether it was a horror one or otherwise, as you can hear some noises that don't appear to be part of the song. There's something in the middle that can kind of sound like a basketball hitting the floor, and at the end of the sample there's another sound that sounds like a jet engine. It was a completely dead search for a really long time with no real leads, until July 2024 when Redditor NCC 1701 Alpha by a complete fluke heard some more of the song in a 1990s car ad on YouTube. And with a bit more searching, the full song seemed to have been found in a 1990 German movie called Oskettrisk. And it's not a horror movie at all, it's a crime comedy actually. And that sound that some people thought might have been a basketball hitting the ground, turns out it was a suitcase. and that jet engine noise people hear at the end of the sample was actually an airplane engine. Eventually, a copyright database listing was found for a song called Into Paradise, written by Michael Hoffman de Boer and sung by Martin Nethercutt. Martin was contacted and confirmed that it is indeed him singing Tension Rising in the Air, and it would have been produced sometime around 1988 or 1991. Interestingly enough though, Martin actually did sing some demo vocals for Kenny Loggins on the Top Gun soundtrack, so those people that speculated that the song was reminiscent of Top Gun weren't really far off at all. This is another song that was posted by No War on YouTube back in September 2015 in a video of theirs called Unknown Post-Punk and Wave from Switzerland 1. And No War also added that he thought the name of the song might have been Complex. Going forward to March 2024, and No War posted a recreation of their memories of the song along with an instrumental version of Cheer or Complex. Cheer was finally identified by Discord user Treadmill in August 2024 after they found a 1988 song named Strange Complex or just Complex by Swiss band Het on the Swiss National Sound Archives. The band caught wind of the song search and they were able to provide the full version of Complex as well for free. One Love took a while to identify, but the identity of the actual singer was pretty interesting in the end, at least to me. The earliest known upload of One Love was in October 2013 to onlyvibe.com, and it was shortly followed by a YouTube upload by user Samira Korcheni, who claimed they got it off iloverndbmusic.com. The song made its way around the internet from there, and it eventually got played on Indonesian radio in 2014, though it would be frequently misattributed to the band's cover drive, who actually had nothing to do with it. At various points it was speculated to be of Canadian or Afro-Caribbean origin, and it was even thought that it might have been the result of the Sony music leaks from the early 2010s. All these things would end up being wrong though. The story of One Love shifted in August 2024 when an upcoming album for Taiwanese singer Zuyu was teased with a preview of her own version of One Love, which credited UK singer-songwriter Kamille as a composer. When this was discovered, Redditor Lovey Dovey Honey Pepper contacted Kamille on Instagram and asked if she was the original singer of One Love that had been making the rounds on the internet for the past decade. And Kamille actually replied and confirmed it was hers. And if you look up Kamille, you might find one of possibly the highest profile and most accomplished Lostwave artists of them all. She's written songs for artists such as Dua Lipa, Sia, Kylie Minogue and many others, and she's won 2 Grammys and a bunch of other awards, so I think she's quite accomplished. Way back in April 2002, Treadmill of Time showed up on a Depeche Mode fan site, and naturally people attributed it to the band for a very long time. Treadmill of Time would wind up on YouTube in September 2010 after an upload by user Charlie Mills Manson, who again is attributed to Depeche Mode, and they called it Treadmill of Fire, a demo version. Jumping forward to 2019, Treadmill of Time was posted to the Spirit of Radio website as part of a bootleg album of songs supposedly taped off radio sometime in the 1980s or 90s. And this upload was credited to one Alan Wilder as the creator of the track, but it wasn't his song either. The real turning point for the search came in 2021 when YouTuber Nick Lawrence claimed that the song was by a band called Memory and produced by Tim Addy. Tim was then contacted by Discord user Human Racer in 2021 but wouldn't actually respond until February 2023. Tim would go on to say that the song was made during 1988 under the band Memorybank and they had a lot of fun making it. Finally though, in September 2024, Tim provided a bit more proof that he was behind the song with a cassette listing for Memorybank's Key to the Door album, which had Treadmill of Time listed along with some of the other songs that people had been trying to ID. Though it has been identified, there are still some loose ends surrounding the song My Wandering Fire. And this one has played out almost entirely in Russian, which makes it pretty unique as far as lost songs go in this video. We can trace the search for My Wandering Fire all the way back to 1999, when user Dmitry Sokolov posted the chorus lyrics on the FidoNet forums, hoping to, of course, find the artist as well as a full version of the song. Almost 20 years later in 2017, the Kontatka user Alexander Alexandrov posted a short 30-second clip of a music video for My Wandering Fire that was recorded off TV in another attempt to identify the song. It was discovered that this clip was from Russian TV channel NBN, and based on the watermarks seen on the TV screen, it was likely aired and recorded sometime around 1996. This short music video clip was uploaded to YouTube in 2023 and sparked a deeper search from Russian Lostwave enthusiasts, and they ruled out a bunch of sinners one by one. Things were finally solved though in 2024 after a bunch of different fines kicked in. The Russian Authors Society was contacted in July 2024 and said the sinner's name was Natalya Yablonskaya. That was only the start of things to come out though. By October, Natalya herself had been contacted about My Wandering Fire, and she said that the song was recorded in 1995, and it turned out that she had a Betacam tape featuring unedited behind-the-scenes footage for the music video, and in November a bunch of set photos were released. Natalya was also very surprised to hear that the video had aired, as she was unaware of it ever being broadcast. With all of this overwhelming evidence, Natalya was confirmed to be the singer behind My Wandering Fire, but as of December 2024, a copy of the full song and the full music video is yet to be found. Natalya has said that she's gonna try and contact other people that were involved in the song's production to see if they have a copy, and if they don't, then she may end up re-recording the song and recreating the original music video. I think that's pretty cool.
Like the wind, you take a ride, take the consequence of it.
Well, what can be said about this one? Like the Wind, the most mysterious song on the internet, Subways of Your Mind, is easily the biggest find of 2024. It's arguably the song that defined the idea of Lostwave, or at the very least it's the one that made the concept really take off. If this is your first time hearing about it though, then Like the Wind, aka the most mysterious song on the internet, was the name given to a song recorded off German radio station NDR in 1984 by a teenager named Darius. In the years since, Darius would try and identify all the songs he had on a particular mixtape, and one by one, they were all identified. Except for Like the Wind. Then his sister Lydia bought him a website domain for his birthday in 2004, and on there he wrote about his mixtape to try and identify all the songs. And in 2007, Lydia posted Like the Wind to both the Best of 80s and Spirit of Radio websites to see if anybody had any clue who was behind it. Like the Wind gradually started to spread around the internet from there, first popping up on What's That Song by user Konstantinos in 2009, and then being uploaded to YouTube in 2011 by Spanish YouTuber Rodolfo. And slowly but surely, it started to become known as the most mysterious song on the internet. It gained enough notoriety that a dedicated subreddit simply called The Mysterious Song was made by user Gabba Gaskins in June 2019. And then a month later, in July 2019, YouTuber Justin Wayne started making videos about the most mysterious song on the internet and gave this search and popularity of the song a serious signal boost. It's how I first heard about the song anyway, and if you're also familiar with the song, then I'm sure there's a good chance that you heard about it through Wayne's videos as well. The spread of the song on the internet eventually got the attention of Darius and Lydia, and Lydia herself ended up joining Reddit and Discord in August 2019 to share what she could and help identify the song. Since 2019 though, not a lot happened for a while. Lydia was able to upload a high quality version of the mysterious song in 2021, and people continued to speculate who was behind Like the Wind, with varying levels of plausibility. But in April 2024 though, the mission to identify the most mysterious song got a serious revival when Redditor Successful Bread 347 realized that the Stasi had an archive of German radio recordings from the 1980s, and the original full broadcast of NDR would have been taped as part of this, and likely the most mysterious song would have been identified on air. Efforts were made to search this archive, and it attracted a bunch of new people to search for the song, but that's not how Like the Wind was identified in the end. Jumping forward to July 2024, and it was discovered that NDR, the station that Darius taped Like the Wind off, ran a competition to hype up some new bands in 1984 called Whorefest, and Like the Wind's band may have been involved. And with a bit more digging, this theory would turn out to be right. Come October 2024, Redditor Marigin1412 came across a 1984 article about a band called Vex, and noticed that one of its members, a keyboarder named Michael Hadrich, was also in a band that played at Whorefest. Marigin contacted Michael and simply asked him if he had any old songs from his Vex days, and Michael sent Marigin 3 songs, digitized from a demo tape. There was Talk in Hands, Heart in Danger, and one other song called Subways of Your Mind, another recording of the most mysterious song on the internet. It was finally solved. Michael provided keyboards, vocals and guitar, Norbert Zierman was on bass, Hans Reimer Sievers played the drums, and Tua Rookford was the song's composer, lead singer, and guitarist. This was huge, understandably, and I actually remember seeing the thread about the song being identified around midnight or thereabouts, and I was shook. Since then, there's been a lot more information that's come out. Michael was also able to provide a recording of a live played version of Subways of Your Mind, and clarified that the version of the song on the demo tape that he shared with Margin was indeed a demo version, and the version of the song that's been making the rounds on the internet for the past 20 or so years was what they considered to be the final studio version. All the band members of Vex have since reunited and done a bunch of interviews and performed the song unplugged, and are now releasing a bunch of their old songs on their own YouTube channel. A master or clean studio version of the song Subways of Your Mind hasn't been found yet, or at least not the version we've been hearing for the past 20 or so years on the internet. But the band are still looking for it and putting the word out, and they're also planning to re-record Subways of Your Mind anyway, almost 40 years after first conceiving it. This is honestly a special story and just incredible. I know for me, Subways of Your Mind, the most mysterious song on the internet, Like the Wind, whatever you want to call it, was the song that introduced me to the very idea of Lostwave, and it's been really special to see it finally solved. And that's all the biggest or most interesting to me Lostwave finds of 2024. And I think it's easy to see why people call this the golden age of Lostwave. So many huge songs that people have been looking for years and decades in some cases have finally been identified and found, and it's just an incredible testament, I think, to what people can do in the Lostwave community when they set their minds to something. And a special shout out to all the writers and editors and contributors to lostwave.org and Lostwave's Finest, because they were an invaluable source for tracking down some info for this video. There's so many amazing stories that can come out from all these songs, all the stuff to do with The World Was So Easy and Ulterior Motives and Just a Game, and of course the most mysterious song on the internet, Subways of Your Mind. That's what really draws me in personally. And who knows what the future holds for Lostwave finds in the future. Will the 1980s Canadian song CIA get identified? Will my local favourite, the Chattered song, finally get its due and the artist tracked down? Or will it be finally the time that Light the Lanterns gets identified? Who knows, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Anyway, until my next video, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and take care.